what is good? Let's go ahead and turn this off. There we go. All right, what is good for the culture family? We're about to go ahead and get started here today. Gonna share out this to the team so that everybody else can join. And then we'll get started. Yesterday we had another banger day. Another banger day yesterday. So let me send this out and we'll get started. All right, let's get active. What do we see happening on the markets today? Yesterday, like I said, I had another banger day. We ended up trading gold yesterday. Let's take a look here on the 4-hour time frame, see what's happening for gold. Remove our drawings here. All right, there we go. So yesterday, we seen this impulsive leg up for gold. We looked for that continuation. We ended up catching and capitalizing on this continuation. Right now, we're at an area of interest in the markets for gold where we have some resistance. And as of right now, our 4-hour time frame is in fact bullish. So our 4-hour time, or bearish, excuse me. So our 4-hour time frame being bearish here. Let's take a look at what the lower time frame is saying. So since yesterday, once we hit that high, that key targeted area where we scaled out of our trade, this actually has been kind of chopped off. So right now we are seeing some chop. So we're definitely going to play it slow today coming into the markets with gold. We have this chop after an impulsive move. What is likely to form following it, this chop? Another potential impulsive leg. We have an impulsive move, a corrective structure, another impulsive move. That's what I would anticipate, something similar of this market structure here where we have an impulsive leg, our corrective structure, and then following another impulsive leg. So we need to wait for that volume to come into the markets. Price will remain in this bearish corrective structure if we do see this low break here at this 34.29 area. If we see this area of interest get broken, expect a potentially steeper move to the downside. Not expecting this to really be nothing crazy, but a steeper move down would be to come. I definitely am more inclined to a bullish setup. If we can get a flip, especially if we can get a break through these highs up here, that's what I'll be more inclined to, for price to continue in that bullish market structure. So let's take a look here at the Nasdaq. On the 4-hour time frame, currently on our 4-hour time frame, you can see that we had a high get created, we had a low, then we had a higher high, we had a lower low, and now price is in a corrective structure. So we had an impulsive move down that flipped our structure. So we were creating higher highs and higher lows. Then we just had a lower time frame, or a larger time frame shift, I guess in this case, because we're on the 4-hour, and price is now appearing to close as a bearish candle. Let's take a look at the lower time frame and see if the lower time frame kind of confirms this here. So if we dial down to our 15-minute, you can see the 15-minute was creating higher highs and higher lows. Let's say we had this high get created. We had this high get created here. That's all one move, broke through the high. We had a low, a higher high. Then we have now a lower low get created, a lower high, and potentially a lower low. So what this means is that price is now in a bearish trend, right, within this current bearish wave. So what I'll be looking for is a steeper move to the downside, especially if we can get an impulsive leg. We had an impulsive leg, a corrective structure. If we can get another impulsive leg to the downside, I don't see why we couldn't target 23,117. Right, that's an area of interest where we'll look for price to go to. Now if we take a look here at the YM, a little bit different here, right? So the YM it's the one that hasn't broken its all-time high, and we're more inclined, and this is looking like it might be the best one to trade today currently. It's looking like price can potentially start to test these all-time highs here. If you see how our previous 4-hour candle closed, we closed as a bullish 4-hour candle above this high area here, and it's looking like we could potentially see a continuation, especially if we get some volume. Now, we are at a key area of interest within this area of resistance up here. So if we dial down to a lower time frame, this is an area of resistance where price can potentially flip. But as of right now, our 4-hour time frame is bullish. Our 1 hour to, or if we come down to our 15-minute time frame, our 15-minute time frame is technically still in a larger time frame bullish structure, but we did have a lower time frame shift. So price had created a high, a low, a higher high, then we pushed down to create this low. It hasn't broken this high. A possible flip and steeper move down could be, but we just have to, today it's looking like we're really just gonna have to be patient and let the markets kind of settle out on, you know, what move we're going to be looking to capitalize on. We need some clear decision for us to look to capitalize. So in terms of a target for the YM though, anticipating a steeper bullish move. If we do see this candle close bullish, I mean, potentially these 45,000 highs to be a target. We just have to wait and see how price reacts. We have just taken out this high here, so if price closes as a bearish candle, we could potentially see a bearish corrective structure begin to form before we see another impulsive leg up. So just keep an eye out. Like I said, we just got to be kind of patient today and wait for the markets to kind of show itself here. Now, if we take a look here at the S&P 500, ES, whatever you like to call it, if you take a look here, price did in fact break this high here as well. So we did take this high out. Price is closing, or appears to be closing, as a bearish candle. If we get a bullish leg for the ES, anticipate a bullish continuation. We are in all-time highs for the ES. So, you know, how we scale out of this is going to be a sign of rejection following, or a lower time frame shift. A sign of rejection would be like a candle wick, but in our case, it's going to be a bearish candle wick, something like this, showing that price is rejecting off key area. And we know, and you guys know who are in the VIP, you guys know that when we're in these all-time highs, that we look to target solid whole numbers. So potentially this 6,400 level, and potentially beyond that. So just keep an eye out for, like I said, for how price reacts here. If we do see a lower time frame shift and get an impulsive move to the downside, expect a steeper corrective structure. But today, it's looking like a day that we're not coming into the markets with, you know, any crazy amount of volume to start. So we're going to want to wait and see if we can get some volume to kind of, you know, drive us here today. And then we'll just look to capitalize off of whatever, you know, whatever move that ends up being. Whether we get an impulsive move or a corrective wave down, or an impulsive move up for gold. Gold looks like it's kind of choppy. I mean, they're all really kind of indecisive right here. They're at deciding points in areas in the markets where they're going to have this time to make a decision, right? It's time to make a decision. So we're going to see how this closes here in the next hour and 20 minutes. For those of you who are in the VIP, I will catch you guys on our live session. We just added another 100K in funding yesterday with yesterday's trade. Ended up passing another 100K in funding for the challenge. Now we have 23 days left to turn it into $10,000 profit. It only took 7 days to pass. It shouldn't have even took 7 days to pass, but it took 7 days to pass. So that gives us 23 days to make a $10,000 profit. We did 6K in 7 days. I'm sure we could do 10K in 23. So, but it comes to being disciplined, right? We need the volume to carry us through. So we got to wait for our best, you know, possible setups. So that's going to be the key for today, is just making sure that we're patient and waiting for that volume to come into the markets before we look to execute. Yeah. So I'll see you guys on the VIP. I'll see you guys there. For those of you who are not in the VIP, you could join the VIP and trade with us live every single day at 9:30 Eastern Standard Time. It is a great time. So much value is given during these sessions. You don't want to miss out. And we've been cooking. Can't lie. We've been cooking. So I'll see you guys there. Appreciate